He's telling me how unhappy he is with life, how unhappy he is with his job, how upset he is that he can't go on this trip with me and everything. And his whole goal was to make sure that I had a very unpleasant trip and that I was thinking about how unhappy he was the entire trip. That is something that narcissists do. They don't want you to have any fun or have any enjoyment without them.
Hey, how are you? Welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you're an OG. I hope you're fine. I hope you're having a good one wherever you're watching this from in the world. All right, so as the title suggests, married at 28, divorced at 29. It's very crazy when the person that is supposed to be for us is against the story of a popular influencer, primarily on TikTok. Her name is Finance Baddie. I don't know if you've come across her. She's very popular online. She's doing her bit. But sadly, she recently got divorced, and her story is touching a lot of people. The story, her side anyway, is touching a lot of people. And it goes to show the importance of not marrying your enemy, but also it's just the grace of God, because you do not know. You never know.
In my life, I wasn't really going out. I was just focused on myself. So if you weren't already in my immediate circle, if I didn't already know you, chances are we were not going to meet, because I went to work, I went home, I went to the gym, and I was just like focused on myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just where my head was at. Now, by December of 2021, he starts applying to some jobs in Florida because he says he wants to move back to Florida potentially. By January of 2022, he gets a job offer in Florida, and he also does get another job offer in New York, which in my opinion was more aligned with what he wanted to do career-wise. But he decides that he's going to take the job in Florida. Now, he's trying to say to me, you know, am I coming with him to Florida? I'm like, absolutely not. I have my career here. At the time, I knew no one in Florida. No, I'm not going with you to Florida. And I had broken up with him because I was like, I'm not doing a long distance relationship. I just don't want that for myself. Now, after we got married, I found out that he actually told his coworkers and others, his friends and stuff, that the breakup was mutual when it wasn't, right? Because he was crying these crocodile tears, these fake tears. In retrospect, they were fake tears. They were narcissist tears. When I told him that, look, I'm not moving to Florida with you. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not doing long distance. I have my career here. It is what it is. I think it was early February that he moved to Florida. Valentine's Day comes around 2022. Now, I think I'd gone out and I posted up like, you know, just in a cute dress or whatever. Who's calling my phone to find out if somebody took me out for Valentine's Day? My soon-to-be ex-husband. Mind you, I'm single, right? What did you think was going to happen? Do you not think there is a line of men waiting to take me out? You're single. I'm single. It's none of your business. Why should I spend Valentine's Day alone, right? Like, you decided to move to Florida. I am living in New York. I'm going to enjoy myself. You know what I'm saying? I tell him, look, you need to calm down and you need to focus on your life in Florida. There are a lot of baddies in Florida, right? Focus on the baddies in Florida. Let me live my life, right? Period. He's upset. He's not happy with it. It is what it is. Now, we didn't really talk for a while. I want to say like maybe about a month and a half, because I'd kind of cursed him out and I was like, look, you need to stop calling my phone. You need to leave me alone, like boundaries. He starts to weasel his way back in after a couple months of 2022 from the friendship angle. I started to post on TikTok in May. My first video that went viral on TikTok happened in the end of May. And in June of 2022, an anonymous account is created on Twitter. It has no posts. I'm still friendly with my soon-to-be ex-husband, right? He's still a friend to me, and that's that. I'm single in 2022. I'm focusing on myself. In August of 2022, I'm told by my boss that I'm being put up for early promotion. My soon-to-be ex-husband, at the time, I considered him to be one of my best friends because he always positioned himself to be like this source of support for me and just somebody who really loved me, like, unconditionally. Now, he was one of the two people that I let know that I was being put up for early promotion. Unbeknownst to me at the time, that same week, that anonymous Twitter account made some tweets using screenshots from my TikTok account, tweeting my firm and FINRA. Now, FINRA is the regulatory body that oversees broker dealers, etc. Again, there are 2 people that I told that I was up for early promotion. He's the only one who would have known to tag FINRA in those tweets in an attempt to bring me down or to get me fired or to mess up my chances of getting promoted. I don't find out about these tweets because I wasn't even tagged and I wasn't really on Twitter like that. I was called into the office by compliance at my job and they were telling me that, hey, there's this FINRA investigation going on because this random Twitter account made these tweets referencing your content and they tagged the firm and they tagged FINRA. They just told me, hey, just keep an eye out, let us know if you have any idea who it could be. And they told me that they'd be doing their own kind of investigation as well. I remember my boss saying to me, go look into that, go figure out like what's going on there. And I just thought, okay, maybe it's just like some random hater. I just had no idea who could be behind this kind of account. Now, if I'm experiencing a certain type of harassment on the internet, I do loop in my lawyer just to get an assessment of like, what do you think this is? And I remember my lawyer saying to me upon reviewing the Twitter account and reviewing the tweet, he said, honestly, Christine, we've seen this before many times. This account was created specifically to try to bring you down. These tweets are laced with jealousy. This is a classic case of jealousy. And he actually asked me, did you get put up for promotion or something? Did you get a promotion? Because I've seen this a lot before and it's clearly laced with jealousy. And he said, is there anyone you can think of who would be jealous about you getting a promotion? And I said, well, I only told 2 people. And those people, in my mind, I was like, they would never be jealous of me. Plus, only one of those people would have known to tag my firm and to tag FINRA. And I remember asking my soon-to-be ex-husband, I was like, hey, did you tell anybody else? But he was so supportive. He was just like, oh my gosh, the fact that somebody would even do that to you, they're such a hater. You guys, this man was like praying with me. He was like, I want to pray with you against like the attacks of the enemy. It's not funny. Nothing about this is funny, by the way, but it's like, at this point, all I can do is laugh, right? Because I was so convinced that this man was for me, right? He was praying with me, right? Now I know that he was behind that account. He didn't want me to get that early promotion because he knew that if I got promoted, there's no way I would be moving to Florida with him. And he had to figure out a way to get me to move to Florida because he just had to have me. Here this man is praying with me, being like, I just don't know why anybody would try to do that to you. And like, you just have all these haters now and whatnot. And he created this account in June of 2022 when he saw that like, okay, like her TikTok is growing. More people are going to find her. So I got to make sure by any means necessary that she doesn't find somebody better. He's telling me that, you know what, you're on the internet, you're on TikTok now, people can find your TikTok, so it's just probably somebody who hates on you. You've always had haters. It could be anybody.
In this clip, you can see that 1 minute he's acting all, oh my gosh, I don't know who would do this to you. I don't know who would, report you to your workplace. Where all this time, he's the one creating a fake Twitter account to tag her workplace, to, show them her videos online so that way she doesn't get a promotion. It's so sad that people can be smiling in your face. You can literally be married to your enemy, right? And some people are asking, okay, if she saw all of this, why did she get married to him? She didn't see that. She only saw the side of him being so nice, being by her side. When she's getting hate online, what she's seen as hate, not knowing that it's that man that she's with, she's seen him as her knight in shining armor. Like, oh wow, he's there for me when people are bullying me. He's the one comforting me. But he's on the other side bullying her with fake accounts and then also coming to rescue her. And then she's there thinking, oh wow, this man is so nice. And then she goes ahead and marries him. And then when she finds out that, okay, this guy isn't who he says he is, she is leaving him. To her for being strong enough to the point where she can just leave. She didn't care about people's opinions. She didn't, care about the backlash, people's judgment, or like she wasn't afraid to start again. That's why it's important as a woman to have your own. She's doing well, she was in finance, and I think now she's self-employed, so she's a woman that's really doing well for herself. That's why it's important, you know, you don't have to be super rich like her, but at least have something going for you. So worst case scenario, you're not going to go back to zero and start building again, right? So that's one thing that I'm able to take away from that okay, even if the worst happens, even if this person that you thought was such an angel, they become like the greatest or the worst demon that you've ever seen, you're able to bounce back. That's what I take away from this. And guys, as she's sharing this, you can tell that like she actually thought this guy was a good guy. She doesn't strike me as someone that would go along, like even if someone's treating her horribly, she'll be like, oh no, he's going to change. You know, something about her just radiates self-love, and it shows, because she's willing to leave the marriage as soon as she discovers, like within a year, she's willing to leave. You know, some people, they'll waste their life, they'll wait till like they're 50, 60, 40, like, you know, from this point, yes, people can be saying, oh, married at 28, divorced at 29, but at least you're not wasting your life away. Obviously, there's a lot to process, there's a lot of hurt and pain, but the fact that she's just forging ahead, I really love that for her. I'll put her link in the description if you want to check her out. She is amazing. And she encourages women to elevate their game, and yeah, I think she's worth at least checking out if you're not following her. All right, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Give the video a like if you like it, subscribe. I'd love to know what you think, so please comment. Have a lovely one.